Personal finance expert Alice Hayne from Best Invest is sharing the ultimate financial resolution checklist to help people make the best decisions with their money in 2024. From cashing in on better savings rates to topping up ISAs and pensions to beat tax hikes, or boosting your state pension, maximizing your mortgage, clearing debt, checking your tax code and more, these New Year's resolutions should give anyone's personal finances a boost. Ms. Hayne said, "There's no doubt 2023 has been a tough year for households as high inflation and rapidly rising borrowing costs eroded take-home pay and new fiscal rules left Britons with the highest tax burden since the Second World War. On the flip side, high interest rates delivered some relief for savers who could finally enjoy a real return on their rainy day funds in the latter part of the year as inflation beat a retreat, that's if they had any spare money to save." The personal finance analyst continued, "The worst of the cost of living crisis may now be behind us, but those whose surplus cash has already been used up are likely to feel trepidation as they enter 2024, fearful that any more unexpected bumps in the road may derail their finances once and for all. That's why committing to a fresh set of financial New Year's resolutions has the potential to not only spruce up your personal finances for the year ahead but also improve your long-term prospects." Alice said that January is often the best month to tackle financial paperwork as people typically stay in more to save money and make up for lavish spending in December. Simple resolutions to transform your finances in 2024: build a rainy day pot for emergencies and benefit from high savings rates while you can back up savings ready to cover unexpected expenses are key when you consider the many curveballs life can throw at you. An emergency fund is there to cover unplanned expenses that suddenly crop up and need to be paid for straight away, such as a broken washing machine, frozen pipes, car repairs or worse, job loss. Best Invest suggests people aim to hold 6 to 12 months of their regular expenses in an emergency fund, so if you don't have that money safely tucked away yet, start building it now. Don't just rely on an emergency pot, open a sinking fund too to prevent an emergency pot being used to cover everyday bills. Open a second account to act as a sinking fund. This should cover specific planned expenses, big costs that crop up once a year such as car or home insurance, a holiday or an annual car service. Having separate emergency and sinking funds makes it easier to budget effectively because the sinking fund will have clear targets to save towards as you can anticipate what those major annual costs will be. National insurance cuts may be kicking in, but have you paid enough into your state pension? Chancellor Jeremy Hunt may have delivered a headline-grabbing 2% cut to the main rate of national insurance in his recent autumn statement, with a reduction to 10% from 12% taking effect from January 6, but that won't help anyone with any gaps in their record. Those likely to have significant gaps in their record include women that took time out to raise a family or care for elderly relations, as well as low earners or expatriates living and working abroad. While Britons can typically backdate their national insurance contribution history by 6 years, the UK government created a one-off concession allowing them to buy back missed years from the 2006-07 tax year to April 2017. The deadline to fill any knee shortfalls has been extended until April 5, 2025, following a surge in demand. That might sound like a lengthy time frame to plug any shortfall, but HMRC is already grappling with long delays, so starting the process sooner rather than later will prevent any hiccups along the way. The danger of gaps in your national insurance record is that you don't accrue enough qualifying years to receive a full state pension. Britons typically need at least 10 years of NI contributions to receive anything at all and at least 35 years to receive the full new state pension, which will rise to £10,636.60 a year from April 6. Remember, it does not need to be 35 consecutive years, but you must have hit that target over the course of your working life to receive the full entitlement. Check your tax code. You may be paying too much. The UK is set for a lengthy period under a historically high tax burden, and that's in spite of the national insurance cuts coming. With the personal allowance and higher rate income tax thresholds now frozen until 2028 and the 45p top rate of income tax now kicking in at £125,140 rather than the previous level of £150,000, making sure you are paying the right amount of tax is vital. To check your tax code and other income details, visit gov.uk here. Millions of tax codes are wrong every year and it is your responsibility, not your employer's or HMRC's, to check it. You may be overpaying, or underpaying, something that can happen if you change jobs, earn money from more than one source, such as a part-time job or a property portfolio, or have recently retired. Create a budget you can stick to. Using the 50/30/20 rule. A budget is the best way to understand the state of your finances and ensure you have enough to cover everyday expenses in addition to savings, investments and life's little luxuries. Creating a monthly budget is relatively easy as you are simply documenting how much money is coming in, how much must go out and how much can be allocated to other needs and wants. This can be done on a spreadsheet or even in a notebook. The 50/30/20 method involves putting aside 50% for essential spending such as bills and food shopping, 30% for non-essentials such as eating out and style and beauty, 20% into savings. A full overview of how to follow this spending rule can be found here. Get the latest record money news. Join the conversation on our Money Saving Scotland Facebook group for energy and money saving tips, the latest benefits news, consumer help and advice on coping with the cost of living crisis. Sign up to our Record Money newsletter and get the top stories sent to your inbox daily from Monday to Friday, including a special cost of living edition on a Thursday. Sign up here. You can also follow us on X, formerly Twitter, at @recordmoney_ for regular updates throughout the day. Deal with debts head-on by finding a strategy that works. There's no question that 2023 has been expensive, but if taking on fresh debt has been the only way to finance the extra costs, particularly over the festive season, then get a handle on your liabilities quickly. Servicing debt has become ultra-expensive with interest rates on credit cards, overdrafts and loans ramping up over the course of 2023, creating a challenge for those with large unsecured debts. Those who only make the minimum payment on an outstanding credit card balance could find themselves in the red for years because of the spiraling effect of compound interest on the debt, where you not only owe interest on the original credit but also on the interest that has accrued. Those with multiple debts must first face up to the problem and then develop a strategy to repay them in a set amount of time. One way to do this is to use the debt avalanche or debt snowball methods, effective ways to clear consumer debt such as credit cards and loans. First, list all your debts and make minimum payments on all except one. On that final debt, pay off as much as feasibly possible. Then once the card or loan is cleared, target the next balance until all the debts are gone. Join the Daily Records WhatsApp community here and get the latest news sent straight to your messages.